Welcome, everyone! Tonight, we're diving into a story that truly happened, a tale that unfolded during the magic of Christmas, but with a twist that sent shivers down our spines. It's a reminder that even in the most festive times, unexpected things can occur, and sometimes, the most ordinary moments can hold extraordinary, and yes, a little bit scary, experiences. Imagine this, a family cozy in their home, the tree twinkling, carols playing softly. It was Christmas Eve, and the air was thick with anticipation and the scent of gingerbread. Suddenly, a strange scratching sound began. At first, they dismissed it as the wind, or perhaps a branch brushing against the window. But the sound persisted, growing louder, more insistent. It wasn't coming from outside. It was coming from asterisk inside asterisk the walls. Panic, a cold, unwelcome guest, began to creep in. They checked every nook and cranny, every closet, every attic space. Nothing. Yet, the scratching continued, a relentless rhythm that seemed to mock their efforts. It was a sound that burrowed deep, making them question what they were hearing, what they were asterisk not asterisk seeing. The festive cheer of the evening was slowly being replaced by a growing unease, a feeling of being watched, of something unseen sharing their space. As the night wore on, the scratching would stop for periods, only to resume with renewed vigor, sometimes accompanied by faint rustling sounds. Sleep was impossible. Every creak of the house, every shadow cast by the flickering lights felt amplified, sinister. They tried to rationalize it, to find a logical explanation, but the sheer persistence and the unsettling nature of the sounds defied easy answers. It was a Christmas Eve unlike any they had ever experienced, a night where the familiar comfort of home felt strangely alien. The next morning, the sounds finally ceased. Exhausted and unnerved, they decided to investigate further. With a mix of trepidation and determination, they carefully examined the area where the sounds had been most prominent. And there, tucked away behind a loose panel, they discovered the source. It wasn't something they had ever expected, and in its own way, it was a startling revelation that explained the unsettling mystery of their Christmas Eve. While the immediate fear subsided, the memory of that night, the chilling sounds in the quiet of their home, remained a vivid and unforgettable part of their Christmas story. Thank you for joining me for this tale. It's a story that reminds us to be aware of our surroundings, and that sometimes the most intriguing mysteries can be found in the most unexpected places. This is the second story. Imagine this, a quiet, snow-dusted evening, the kind where carols are playing softly and the scent of pine fills the air. Our story centers around a family who had just settled in for a cozy Christmas Eve. They'd exchanged gifts, shared laughter, and were looking forward to a peaceful night. But as the hours ticked by, a peculiar sound began to emanate from their attic. It wasn't the usual creaks and groans of an old house settling. This was different. It was a rhythmic, almost deliberate tapping, growing louder and more insistent. At first, they tried to dismiss it. Perhaps it was a branch against the roof, or maybe a curious squirrel. But the sound persisted, and a sense of unease began to creep in. The children, usually so excited about Santa, started to look towards the ceiling with wide, questioning eyes. The parents, trying to maintain a brave face, exchanged worried glances. Driven by a mix of curiosity and growing apprehension, the father decided to investigate. Armed with a flashlight and a heavy dose of caution, he made his way to the attic stairs. The tapping stopped the moment his hand touched the pull cord, only to resume with renewed vigor as he ascended. The air in the attic was colder than the rest of the house, and the shadows seemed to dance in the beam of his flashlight. He searched every corner, every dusty trunk, but found nothing out of the ordinary. Yet, the tapping continued, now seeming to come from directly above him, as if something was trying to get his attention. He descended, a knot of confusion and a prickle of fear tightening in his stomach. He explained to his family that he couldn't find anything, but the unsettling feeling lingered. They tried to resume their Christmas Eve traditions, but the memory of that strange sound and the unanswered question of its origin hung heavy in the air. The next morning, Christmas Day, the tapping was gone. The house was silent, bathed in the soft glow of the morning sun. But the experience had left its mark. They spent the day trying to shake off the lingering unease, but the memory of that inexplicable sound on Christmas Eve remained. It was a stark reminder that sometimes the most memorable stories aren't always the ones we expect, and that even in the heart of celebration, there can be mysteries that defy easy explanation. This is the third story. It was a few years back, and the snow was falling thick and fast, blanketing our small town in a hushed, magical white. My friend, Sarah, had always been a bit of a night owl, and this particular Christmas Eve, she decided to take a late-night stroll. The streets were deserted, the only sounds the crunch of her boots on the snow and the distant carols drifting from a few homes. As she rounded a corner, she saw it, a small, intricately carved wooden box sitting right in the middle of the sidewalk. It looked old, almost antique, and completely out of place. Curiosity got the better of her, and she picked it up. It was surprisingly heavy, and when she gently shook it, she heard a faint rattling sound. There was no lock, just a simple, almost seamless lid. Back inside, with the warmth of her fireplace and a mug of hot chocolate, she carefully opened the box. Inside, nestled on faded velvet, were a handful of old, sepia-toned photographs and a single, tarnished silver locket. The photos were of a family, their faces serious but kind, from what looked like a bygone era. The locket, when she managed to pry it open, contained two tiny, faded portraits. What happened next was truly remarkable. Sarah, feeling a strange pull to uncover the story behind these forgotten treasures, started asking around. She showed the photos to some of the older residents in town, and eventually, an elderly woman recognized the faces. It turned out the box belonged to a family who had lived in town generations ago, a family that had faced immense hardship during a particularly harsh winter, not unlike this one. The locket, she learned, held the images of the parents who had sacrificed so much for their children. The most poignant part of the story, though, was what the woman told Sarah about the box itself. It was said that during times of great need, when hope seemed scarce, this box would appear, a silent reminder of resilience and love. It wasn't magic in the way we might think, but a symbol, a tangible piece of history that offered comfort and a sense of connection to those who found it. Sarah, touched by the story and the weight of its history, decided to do something special. She carefully placed the box, along with a note of her own, back on the same sidewalk, hoping it might find its way to someone else who needed a reminder of strength and the enduring power of human connection, especially during the holidays. It's a story that always stays with me, a gentle nudge to remember that even in the quietest moments, there are echoes of the past and the potential for unexpected kindness and discovery. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. If you enjoyed this story, feel free to follow along for more tales that explore the fascinating corners of our world.